Welcome to rBeatz, RBTZ TV. We are here with a wonderful guest, Jennifer Busco and John Kassan. And we are going to be talking about intuitive thinking, chakras. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody.
So I'm Chelsea. First, to start off by introducing our very special guest, and John Kassan.
I think just to simplify it, what I do is help people find better versions of themselves as humans. And I think, so I'm a healer. I'm in the spiritual world. I used to be, or I still am, in the yoga community. And I feel like that was a great gateway for me to learn about spirituality and healing, because those two go hand in hand really well. So a lot of people that do yoga in Charlotte, they'll end up like, oh, I want to go see Jenny or Jennifer, or I want to go to a healer, because it's all sort of in that same vein about honoring and understanding that there's something bigger out there that can help us live our lives as humans. And so I think there's a lot of healers out there that can be, very in the clouds, which is awesome. I'm more like, I want to help you as a human live a better life on this earth through connecting to heavens, angels, the universe, the animal kingdom, whatever, plant kingdoms.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of my thing. I'm like an earthly healer, if that makes sense.
An intuitive guide and an advanced energy healer is like her technical term.
Wow. Okay.
So with that umbrella statement, how did you know, Jennifer, that you had these gifts or talents? Were you like later in life? Or I know that I kind of read your story a little bit. I did some deep diving, and it looks like you were really into yoga, which kind of was, like you said, the gateway to other things. But you were always kind of curious as a child.
Yeah, I always say the one story. I remember in Syracuse, New York, laying on the grass and just like looking up at the clouds and thinking, is that like God up there? Like, I wasn't raised in a religious house at all. My mother was not into that. She like forgot to baptize me. And then in 5th grade, she's like, wear this dress. We're going to get you baptized. I'm like, what? We don't even go to church. Why? So I was not raised in a religious house at all, but I've always felt the pull to something bigger. Like, I would be going to bed and I would feel like energy of angels over my bed. And I would always just feel that sense of like that connection to nature, I think was really big to me. And that really helped me understand that there's more than just like the humanness of us. And so I've always been drawn to this work. And then cut to like 17, 18, 19, I started following bands and doing things that altered my mind a little bit. Can we say that?
Yes.
And I think those situations really helped me see and feel energy in people. I would have friends and I would be in a situation, I'd look at them and be like, oh, that is not what I thought I was seeing. But now that I'm altered a little bit, I can actually see what's going on in your energy, if that makes sense.
Interesting. And so once that door was unlocked, did you still need like the substance to make you see these things, or did that just heighten?
Yeah, I think it's just, it opened a door in my mind of like other dimensions.
And then that door was just opened. You didn't, like right now, we were just sitting down earlier and you were like, oh, well, I see your third chakra. Like, you see things. It's not like you have to like take a pill or something and then all of a sudden these doors open. It's like that.
Yeah, I think that was just like a little catalyst for me. And then I started reading a lot of books like this. I'm showing my age. The Celestine Prophecy, like from the 90s, which is like all about like spirituality. And this guy was in the woods and all these like coincidences and all these crazy things that happened. So that book really opened my mind. And like a lot of like the Eckhart Tolle stuff, like the power of now and understanding like the concept of like there is no such thing as time, which always is mind boggling to me. And then yoga. So yoga was like, oh, I can physically honor this thing that I'm feeling pulled to. But back to your earlier question, I feel like the whole gift thing, like if you're drawn to something a lot in life, typically there's a gift there. Does that make sense? Like I really love the arts, or I really love music, right? Whatever it is, I feel like that's how my path has been, is in different ways and multifacets. I've always been drawn to understanding that there's something bigger, and how can I connect to it, and how can I use that to help myself and others.
That's interesting.
So the yoga was like the gateway. So, you'd be physical yoga, you're practicing, like the teachers are saying all these deep things, which is like very profound. And, you're feeling your energy move with the poses. But to me, I sort of plateaued in a way with that, because you can only do so much on your mat. Like, okay, here's warrior one. I want to learn how to like undo the things that have been done to me, undo the patterns, the belief systems, the thoughts, perspectives that I've had because of my upbringing. Like those are the kind of things that I work on in clients or in sessions with clients, because I feel like that's how you shift your relationship to yourself. And then you're shifting what you're drawing in. So really all of this boils down to, I think, this field of spirituality and using the awarenesses of the universe to try to, live your life. They help you have a better, more loving relationship to yourself. So if you have that, your energy's better. And then if you believe in the law of attraction, you're drawing in things that match that. Mm-hmm. So my life is definitely more joyful since this. I mean, it's not perfect. I definitely have like dark days, dark times, sadnesses, and all that stuff. But I definitely feel way more connected to myself and connected to others. And it's shown to me every day. Like I'll be in Starbucks and I'll have this really meaningful conversation with somebody. Like that kind of stuff. It's because my energy, I mean, not perfect, but it's open, and I try to keep it clean and clear. And if it's not, then I'm aware of it and I try to clean that up.
So cleaning it up, I sometimes use sage.
Yes.
Is this one of the measures that you can clean your energy is through sage?
So sage is more for like an external thing.
Yep.
It can like, it's almost like Lysol, like, the properties are like antibacterial. So you can you go into the corners of each room, you can open the windows. Everybody has their own way, but ultimately a lot of this work, which is so crazy, is about intention. So if you don't have sage, you can literally just close your eyes. And so to me, white light is very high vibrational. So I'll just close my eyes and imagine that I'm painting like all the walls. Like I'll do it right now. Clearing this room, painting all the walls with white light, the ceiling and the floor. So you don't even always need holy water or sage because it's just about your intention with your energy.
I like that. Mm-hmm. So you don't even need supplies. You can do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what color to you represents?
Yellow.
Like heaven. Okay.
Oh,
or clean and clear.
Yes. Yeah.
Or love. Mm-hmm. Whatever that color is, that's your color. And that's what you would do.
Okay.
I like white light because that's like clouds, heaven, angels.
Yeah. Yeah.
But everybody's different.
I think I'm a kaleidoscope. I don't know.
I think, whatever works.
Yeah. Like I always think I'm a kaleidoscope of color.
So I love that.
I don't know if I resonate. I like yellow though.
Yellow. That's third chakra. Ooh. That's the color of third chakra. Yep.
Okay.
So, but in terms of cleaning your own energy, that's really just self-awareness, right? Like, oh, I was really judgmental to that person. Mm-hmm. Okay. Why was I judgmental? Typically there's some sort of childhood belief system or pattern or wound that is wanting to be addressed when you have behavior that you're not happy with. And so that's what I mean by cleaning it up, like taking accountability for something and then going inward and asking yourself, why does this keep happening? Like, how can I clean that up? Well, you have to go in and heal it. Go in and do inner child work, stay empowered, try not to be as, that victim mentality that we tend to do. So you have to go in and do all these shifts in inner child healing usually. And then you won't operate from that place as much. And then you draw in other things.
How many sessions would it take?
Well, so that's why I don't do packages, because miracles could happen. Like I could do something with you today and all of a sudden like angels fly in and they just do all these crazy things and you're healed, right? So it depends on your energy system, your openness, what works for you in terms of like this life that you're in. If you believe in multiple lives, like how much you can evolve, how fast you are growing and can grow and are capable of growing. So it's really unexplainable on the timing. But I find the more open you are, the quicker that people see results. If someone's skeptical or they're just like, they book a session, but then they're sitting, they're with me and I can feel that they kind of don't want to change. And that's what's really, really tough is we are so familiar and comfortable with the miseries that we operate from.
That's fascinating. John, what are you thinking?
What's chakra?
What's a chakra? Mm-hmm. So that's funny.
Good
you said
question.
it right because I always say chakra, but technically it's like chakra, like chocolate, which is what he said, which is funny. So good job. They're just energy systems. So you have like 7 in your body, like in your physical body, like 1 is your root and then 7 here, but they go up and out to like 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's like up here, down, there's like many, 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 but they are energetic systems that they have certain personalities, if that makes sense. So like your root chakra is from your hips down, and that's the color red. typically. And that is the place that is really solid when you have a good physical body, when you feel safe in your home, when you feel safe in your family, in your tribe. It's all about your roots, your tribe. And so when something's off, like say you can't pay your mortgage this month, your root chakra might be a little bit off. You might have an ache in your knee. You might have a hip ache. And so your body and your energy is always talking to you. And typically it's through physical pain, is telling you that something's off in that chakra. So my go-to ailments are like my low back, like all my stress and fear is in my low back, which is like first and second chakra. So I'm always like, my back hurts. What am I fearing right now? Oh, okay. And so and some people get headaches. Everybody has their own sort of go-tos with the ailments. Mine's my low back.
Have you ever read, I'll date myself, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill?
I have not. I've heard of it.
Yeah. So a lot of what you're saying is, first of all, just from you being here in 5 minutes, I could see why people would want to be around you, obviously, right?
Oh, thanks.
But it's like you have the energy. And if I didn't have someone that would give me energy, man, I would hire you to just every day,
Thank you.
right?
Post that on Facebook.
And there's so much value to that. I have to wonder, people who are inclined to see you are probably inclined to be open-minded, and people who are open-minded are inclined to change, at least more than people who are less so. And people who change are going to see their own value through the guidance that you give them. Those people will get help eventually, and from you or someone like you.
Hopefully, but maybe not. We all grow at different rates. Not everybody wants to grow. Not everybody wants to evolve, and that's okay too.
So that led to my next question. How do you help someone who isn't ready, or can you even help them?
I think it's energy. It's divine attraction where I don't really attract that. People come, like I have a prayer that I say, may those who I can help easily find me. And I feel like that's what happens. When people are ready to find me, they do. And so I don't really run across that. And that's where typically I don't really do gifts. Like if you were like, can I buy my sister a session? That's a little awkward to me because if she's not going to be open to it, she's not the one that's drawn to this. So I try to practice neutrality in that way where everybody's on their own path. And I think some people enter this human body and they're like, I'm going to learn and grow a lot this lifetime. And I think some people are like, I'm just going to live my life and be in like a mediocre marriage and like have like a middle-class life and be okay with that, which is fine. It's just like, yeah.
Is it though? You're saying, which is
not
fine.
For me.
For some people, not for me, not for all the people I know, but for some people, it's fine.
And maybe they're younger souls too. That's what, if you want to, how deep you want to go. But a lot of older souls, like I believe I'm an old soul. For example, I don't really align with babies that much. Like I'm not like a baby person. And when I'm in Target and I hear a baby cry, I'm like, I literally want to like leave. And my healer told me, she goes, because you've had so many lives and you've had so many babies, you're just over it.
Interesting.
So I have one.
It used to be a mother.
And one and done. Yeah, like I think I've had so many lives that I've had so many babies. I've had so many crying babies in my hands that I'm literally like done with it.
And I'm drawn to children.
See? Oh, interesting. But maybe that's part of your path or your purpose. So it might not be that you're a young soul. Maybe there's a part of you that can learn and grow from being a mom.
Well, I got to say, I don't like babies crying. I don't think anybody likes babies crying. And when you say I'm drawn to children, that's a difference between a baby and a child.
Baby crying, correct.
You can be a little bit more specific by saying children, but you can't be too specific because then you sound like a pervert. For example, if you said, I like 12-year-olds, that would be a problem.
Right.
But babies crying? No, nobody likes babies crying.
Well, like when my friends have babies, I don't really say, can I pick it up?
Like
I don't really have the desire to pick it up. Yes, I don't have the desire to pick it up.
And you say, they always say, do you want to hold your baby? And you're like, no, not really.
Exactly. That's how I am. Like, not really. And I should. I'm a nurturing person, but that's not part of my path. My purpose is to like empower adults to have the best relationship to themselves if they can, thus attracting better things.
Everyone should have a mission statement, I think, and personal mission statement. It can be brief, it can be long, but it can be personal to them, and it should be your compass that drives them forward. Mm-hmm. Mine is help people thrive. Not just people I like or people who like me, but all people. And that's hard sometimes because some people don't even like you and they don't even want to thrive. But I'm going to make them thrive anyway. You try to, right? What is your mission statement?
I would say definitely something with the word empower. So pretty much similar to what I just said. Like I empower myself, and through that, I empower others to incorporate as much of the universal awarenesses and like the heavenly energy and into their earthly lives. I feel this is long. That's way longer than yours. But I feel like I'm on that bridge between earth and like heaven, whatever you want to call, whatever you believe in, that something bigger, universal awareness. And I'm like, okay, everybody, like come with me. You can have part of this like beautiful, you can look at a tree and like want to cry because it's so pretty kind of energy, And that's what I'm here to do, is to like take people's hands and just show them a little piece of like, as cheesy as it sounds, like heaven on earth.
Between heaven and earth, there's Jennifer Busco.
Exactly.
Yes.
There you go, baby. Yes.
There you go.
Sold.
There it is.
So when we started the conversation, you said you're going to read us.
Yeah.
Fire away. I'd
Oh
love
my
to hear
God,
that.
really?
If
Yeah.
you're okay with that, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Especially me, 'cause you don't know me
Typically in a
enough.
session, like I ground and I affirm like all the spirits, like all of our spirits, my spirit, the Holy Spirit, all the kingdoms. So let me just do that real quick. Okay, so if I'm thinking about you, like I said, I'm drawn to your third chakra, which is the center of your body, and it's all about your sense of self. So it feels like there's a part of you that is wanting to, or there's an opportunity for you to step into a richer sense of yourself to fortify that part of the body.
Okay.
And it feels like there's some sort of boundary situation happening there.
Got it.
So when I'm drawn to the outside of someone's third chakra, that is my spirit's way of telling me there's like boundary stuff in there.
Okay.
And so boundaries, boundaries seem like they're so intricate and difficult. It's
Right.
really like what does and doesn't work for you. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going to date this guy because it doesn't work for me that he chews with his mouth open, whatever it is, And if I say that doesn't work for me and he doesn't honor that, then that's a boundary and I need to honor that. And when you have boundaries according to what you need, that's how you build empowerment. Mm-hmm. So people that let themselves, people that are maybe that don't set enough boundaries or let people cross the boundaries, that's where the power sort of starts to seep out. And then the third chakra is like not as fortified and big and bright.
Okay.
So what I would do in a session, if like we were in a legit session, I would go in, okay, so it feels like this is happening, whatever we're talking about here, is in regards to something that happened to you or that you went through when you were around the age 4, is what I'm hearing. Mm-hmm. So like kindergarten, pre-K. So we would go in, which you don't have to say because I know we're like...
Right, on air.
Yes. But so that's how I'd operate. So I get awarenesses and visuals. I hear things. And so that's what I'm hearing is ask her what happened around the age 4. Mm-hmm. Something happened. Someone told you something. There was a situation that maybe made you feel like your needs couldn't or wouldn't be met. And so as an adult, there's boundary gray areas.
Interesting.
Any of that resonate with you?
It does. I'm wondering, though, if it was a one-time thing when I was 4 or was it reoccurring?
I'm hearing reoccurring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Jimmy, in preschool, if you're listening, you're responsible for this.
It's your fault. I have this problem in my yellow chakra, the third one.
Yes. And so in a session, what I would do is, you would say what it was, and then we'd get to the bottom of it, whether it's a belief, like maybe let's just say your teacher told you that you sucked at singing.
Right.
So now you feel like you're not, valuable. So then we would go in and like reparent that child. So we would close our eyes and you would.
So fascinating.
You would see yourself at that age. Mm-hmm. Can you see that right now?
Yeah.
And then
I'm visualizing.
And then you at this age in this visual would, walk up and say, "Hey girl, I see you. You are worthy. You are lovable."
Does everybody cry at your sessions?
Pretty much a lot of people.
I was going to say I'm about to tear up, but yeah.
And
that's big.
yeah, and then we send that little girl white because like I said earlier, which is so hard to grasp, there's no such thing as time, which I still don't really understand that. So literally by us doing this, you are like
Wendy agrees with you.
You are reparenting. Oh, I'm sorry. you are reparenting yourself because all of these things are all happening at the same time, which is so hard to explain. And so that's where visualizing like white light around that little cute 4-year-old girl, telling her all the things that she needed to hear.
I know.
And telling her that you promise that you will honor that you can set boundaries and that you are worthy. And then maybe ask her, what does she need from you to trust you? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a relationship, right? And so then what I do in sessions is I have that little girl kind of shrink down. I give her light and then like put her in your heart, tuck her in. And then, she's always there and you can always access that at any time. So that's like the inner child part. Mm-hmm. So then there's that. And then I would actually give you energy. And this is where I'm just a channel. Angels, spirit guides, your spirit, my spirit, the universe, God, whatever, Jesus energy, whatever comes through me is what I would give in that part of the body to help shift and release.
I love that.
Because you could be storing some emotions there. So that's a lot of the stuff that I work on. It's like, oh, I lost, my dog died at 3 and my dad wouldn't let me grieve it. It's that kind of thing, right? So there's like grief stuck in your body, and that's where I can help sort of
draw it out. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I hear one of our favorite people when she speaks, Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers.
Oh, yeah.
Always affirming, always saying you're special just the way you are.
Yeah.
There is nothing wrong with you. You're different, and everyone else is as well. Mm-hmm. Right? He literally proverbially tucks you in with his jacket and his sweater and his shoes coming off, and it's just a relaxing and feeding the fish and exploring the world through the eyes of a child, even if you're not a child anymore.
Well, and I think that's amazing. And I think for a lot of us, though, it's hard to, like, if we have mantras, like say you just say, oh, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, I'm worthy. If you don't actually believe it, then nothing's really going to shift. And so that's where doing that visualization work and the energy work can actually shift it. So you're not just saying the words, you're actually believing it. And that's how things can start to heal and shift more quickly, in my opinion.
Yeah. Wow.
But being Lutheran, you're taught, I am not worthy, and I never will be worthy.
Oh, geez.